Good afternoon. I would like to talk about aspects of food quality analysis. The intended learning outcomes is to understand the wide system of food evaluation, to distinguish between analytical and holistic aspects of food quality, and to discuss different aspects of food quality. So, we have two sets of criteria of food evaluation. The first set is analytical criteria, and here we can distinguish technological value, sensory quality, and nutritional value. And all these criteria are quite old. And the holistic criteria are comprising authenticity, biological value, ethical value, and holistic measuring methods. And altogether, we can say that both analytical and holistic criteria together are creating ecological criteria of food quality, which are much wider than only analytical ones. The concept has been prepared first by Meyer, Pleger, and Vogtman in 1991, and next developed by different authors. If we speak about analytical criteria, we have technological value. They are features of food products important in the light of various demands of producers, processors, sellers, and consumers. It is a very old set of food traits. Next, we have sensory quality, which is also very old from the historical point of view. And of course, we evaluate food first by eyesight and touch, and next by taste, smell, and hearing. And sensory evaluation is extremely significant because it is influencing shopping choices of the consumers. Next, we have nutritional value. This criterion is understood as minimal content of contaminants in food and optimal content of beneficial compounds. And here we can say that this knowledge has only about 100 years because actually Polish professor Kazimierz Funk first described the vitamins, and actually vitamin B3, niacin, and he thought it would be actually thiamine, but it was the mistake in the beginning. But anyway, he discovered vitamins. And since this time, knowledge about nutritional value of food is developing very quickly every next year. Final quality of food we can consider as a sum of positive features diminished by the negative features. We have also quite new analytical criteria or methods. Concretely, metabolomics is a new tool which is very fashionable and interesting. The aim is to detect the broadest possible range of small molecules originated by metabolic pathways in a plant matrix. It is quite complicated, especially statistical evaluation, but we can distinguish between, for example, different varieties of plant species, or between organic and conventional samples using metabolomics. Next, we are coming to holistic criteria. We have authenticity, which is understood in the United States as a trend opposite to growing food globalization. Because we know that not only in the United States, but in many especially big countries, food is transported for long distances, from a place of production to a place of selling. And of course, food is losing the advantage of authenticity on the way. Therefore, the consumers are looking very much for locally produced foods from safe source, especially bought directly at the farmer. Now we are coming to another holistic criterion, which is biological value. Here, the main thing is that even we are determining the chemical composition of different foods in our lab, we can never understand what is the impact of the consumption of the given food on animal or human body. So knowing only the chemical composition is not enough. It is the first thing, the first step, but it is not everything. Therefore, experiments on small animals are so important. We are using mice, rats, rabbits, trying to feed them with different interesting kinds of foods and to find out what is the impact of their body on their body. And this is, of course, also the next step before we are starting the experiments on humans. So biological value is extremely important criterion. Now we are coming to ethical value. First, we can consider an environmental impact of the organic versus intensive farming. And according to many studies and meta-analyses, there is a very clear difference between organic agriculture and intensive, so-called conventional agriculture in this respect. Namely, organic agriculture is much more profitable for landscape quality, biodiversity, surface waters, also animal husbandry, so animal welfare, comparing to the intensive so-called conventional farming. Next, socio-economic issues. Here the most important thing is that the consumers should be interested in the socio-economic aspects of food production, so the conditions provided for the food primary producers and also processors and sellers. Especially here we should think about the producers from the southern hemisphere, from the tropical hot climates. And the best thing is to go into fair trade, which is the main rule or principle is to keep a justice for the primary producers and other food companies operating in the southern hemisphere. Mainly we think about southern hemisphere and tropical countries here. So this is extremely important issue. Animal welfare is the next one, which every ecologically conscious consumer should think about. So we should look for animal foods coming from the animals produced with the high standards of animal welfare. We don't want our animals to be raised in bad conditions, overcrowded, and not having any access to fresh air, etc. And here again, organic husbandry is much better if we speak about animal welfare. The last group of holistic methods, there are different methods reflecting food quality, and they are very original. We can distinguish physical methods and imaging methods. If we speak about physical ones, we can mention electrical efficiency, index P, and measuring of biophoton emission. And if we speak about imaging methods, the most famous is biocrystallization in cupric chloride, next vertical chromatography, also round filter chromatography, and Kirlian photography. There are also several other holistic methods of food evaluation, but they are less known. This is a new, very interesting field of investigations. And now I would like to thank you for your attention. Thank you.